Hello everyone and welcome to the first lesson on the Nathan's Numbers YouTube channel. We're going to be working through the AQA GCSE Maths specification, really starting from the top and just working through every single topic. So we're going to be starting with ordering different types of numbers today and the different signs as well. So first things first, we're going to be ordering positive and negative integers. So when I say an integer, what I mean is a whole number, right? So what that means, so 1 is a whole number, therefore it's an integer. 2 is a whole number, therefore it's an integer. 1.5 is not a whole number, therefore it is not an integer. That's what I mean when I say an integer, all right? So it's just important we get that sorted and out of the way first. So when we look at it on, let's say, a number line, imagine 0 in the middle. Anything to the right of it's obviously positive, and over there is negative, right? So say we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. Over here we've got -1, -2, and -3. I think this is where most people make the mistake. So most people, I say most people that would make the mistake would probably make the mistake because they'd think that -3 is greater than, let's say, -1, because that's 3 and that's 1, and 3 is greater than 1. Therefore, -3 must also be greater than 1. However, if you look at this number line, you can see that that simply isn't true because we're working our way backwards. So -1, we go -2, we go to -3. Therefore, that is less this number here than this one. Okay, so that's probably the main mistake that people that would make a mistake on that one do tend to make. Okay, now another thing that people make a mistake with is, so that's integers done. Now another thing that people make a mistake with is decimals. So a question that I've seen pop up a lot in a lot of GCSE papers is, so just take some numbers off the top of my head, we've got 3.4, 3.04, 3.0004, and 3.004. Right, if you're ordering them smallest to largest, okay, the smallest one is 3.004 because we've got a 0 in this column, 0 in this column, 0 in this column, and then we finally got our 4 over here. And then from there, the second smallest is going to be this one because it's just like the whole number really, because obviously we've got that 0, 0, then 4. So obviously 3.4 is going to be the largest one there. Not many people make those sort of mistakes, so don't really need to cover that too much. But as long as you sort of recognise that, and that the further you go down that sort of decimal line, then the smaller it gets, it's really quite important to see. So, one last thing to do with sort of ordering numbers is fractions. So one more mistake that I see people make a lot is they'll say see a fraction like 3/5, and they'll assume that that is smaller than, say, 3/10 because we've got a large number on the bottom. Once again, these are just small little mistakes that people don't really make too often, but it's just important to cover it because it is on the specification. So obviously that is greater than that. And additionally, 30/50 is the same as 3/5. Okay, that's important to look at. And the final thing for this lesson, so just a quick lesson, just sort of introduce the specification. This is stuff you will have been taught in year 7 or year 8. It's really not too difficult. Is the different types of symbols. So obviously, first one, equals, that means something is equal to the other thing. So 3 equals 3, or 3 plus 1 equals 4, just something like that. Next up, we've got this sign here, which means not equal to. So we know that 3 is not equal to 4. So we say 3 is not equal to 4. Okay. and then some more signs is that we've got less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. So I'm just going to draw them out. So this one is less than, this one is greater, this one is less or equal to, this one is greater or equal to. So what that means is that the number over here, so let's say 3 again, has to be less than this number over here. So we'll say 4, other way around over here. And this one, it could be equal to or less than or equal to. So it'd be 3 and 3, it could be 3 and 4. This could be 4 and 4 or 4 and 3, just as long as it satisfies that. So as long as this number on the left is less than the number on the right, that satisfies the less than sign. As long as this number over here is greater than this number here, that satisfies the greater than sign. And as long as this number here is less than or equal to this number here, satisfies that. And then obviously greater than or equal to satisfies that. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.